Welcome to the Pretty Rich podcast, where every woman is the heroine of her own story. I'm Sheila Bella, and I built $1 million beauty business from nothing. Maybe, if you listen enough, you'll start to believe that you can do it too. Because if the perfect job doesn't exist, you can create it. If the job you want isn't hiring you, you can unapologetically hire yourself. My aim for each episode is to equip you with empowering conversations on how to grow a lifestyle that's pretty rich in love, beauty, wellness, and of course, financial wealth. I'm Sheila Bella, beauty business coach, celebrity brow artist, microblading educator, entrepreneur, wife, mother, friend, daughter, and your forever positive beauty boss bestie. Let's go. Welcome to the Pretty Rich podcast. A lot of throw your hands up in the air emojis today. I'm really excited. You guys are going to be super blessed and super awakened by this episode. I'm excited to share this message with you because we talk about the importance of mindset and how it determines your success. Totally determines your success in business, parenting, relationships, everything. This is a pretty big episode for me because it is really the foundation of a lot of my personal philosophy and how I've found success in my life. And I have my co-host Anthea, who's going to help explain all of this stuff because we kind of discovered this together. But first, I want to read the review of the week. Thank you so much. We have so many reviews for only being on the air for just a little while. I want to thank you guys. Please keep them coming because it really helps us keep this podcast up. I put a lot of effort into this so that I can bring you my absolute best content. So the review of the week comes from at mybrows_LC. She says, "Oh my God, I feel so lucky. This podcast was so moving to me. I've been struggling with this. It's so hard when people just don't believe in you. Some of my own friends have said this to me. Things like, so when are you going to have your own place? I do believe in myself, but sometimes I feel like it's impossible, Sheila. Thank you for sharing some of those harsh thoughts and experiences. Makes me feel like I'm not alone in this, and anyone who feels this same way must download this podcast. Pure and clear knowledge, also tons of inspiration. I love you, Sheila. Thank you." Oh my goodness. Babe, for real? Like, I legit love you too. Thank you so much. I am so happy to have read this. You guys, I read every single review because it really moves me to keep going. It's not easy. So this moves me to keep sharing. My eyebrows_LC, I just want you to know, girl, you are not alone. And that is my purpose for this podcast and also why I created Pretty Rich Beauty Business School, which is now super open for you to enroll. So what is in this membership? It is ongoing education about all the things that keep us beauty business owners up at night. Guys, I haven't been more proud of anything in my professional career. I have been teaching microblading and doing microblading for several years now, but I noticed that not a lot of my students are working as much as I am or as successful as I am. They have the art, great brow artists, but the difference between a working microblader or a hairstylist or nail artist is simply marketing. You have to be able to sell your services. You have to be able to articulate your genius, your artistry, your passion. So the Pretty Rich VIP membership is seriously what could make or break your success in the beauty business. I know what it's like to not have any clients. I also know what it's like to make $100,000 to $200,000 a month in revenue, and I want to teach you how you can do it too. I live for this stuff. I live to help awaken women to their own superpowers that they were asleep to. You can do this, and I want to show you how. So if you want to join me, go to SheilaBella.com for more information, or send me a DM on Instagram at RealSheilaBella. So now, without further ado, episode 4 with my awesome kick butt, there's kids in the house, co-host, Anthea. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Pretty Rich Podcast.
Yay. Hi, guys.
It's Anthea.
What's up?
They don't know.
Fuck.
Like, who is this?
Who is... I am the person behind you.
She's the person on Instagram stories right now who is fixing our audio. Okay, because I was like, oh, she is passionate about that audio. I'm going to step away.
Yes, girl.
I'm going to step away. Okay. So today it's episode 4. And you guys, this is big.
Huge.
Yep. Like, how can you tell? We're going to teach you how you can tell if you're actually winning. How do you know if you're actually winning in business and life? And what does success really mean? So today, we just want to thank you so much for joining us. We are in your headphones, your car radio, your laptop. I don't know if you're at the gym right now. I love listening to podcasts at the gym.
Me too.
It calms me down.
I do it when I do cardio.
I don't do it when I do cardio. No.
I listen to...
No, I do it when I'm strength training, not cardio. No.
Really?
No, I need something else that's going to have like a BPM of like, I don't know, 180 or something when I'm doing cardio.
Really?
No, I don't want to think. That's so weird.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we learned something about each other.
I can't count my reps. And listen and be present. Yes.
I am really excited about this episode, Anthea.
I am too.
Because the information in this episode is the basis of my entire philosophy. Yours too.
Mm-hmm.
It was the big aha for me. Or at least when I learned it, I went, aha. Okay, so guys, remember when you first learned about gravity? No, actually, I don't remember the first time. But this podcast is going to be like that. It's going to be like as big as the elevator incident with Solange and Jay-Z. Or like as big as when Britney shaved her head in 2007.
Good.
A few months ago, Anthea texted me a link to a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. And she didn't even use complete sentences in the text message. She just said something like this. Read this because good for kids.
That's
so
true.
I didn't even hesitate. I just downloaded it right away. And it blew my mind so hard that I shared it with everybody. So many people. If you guys want to read it, go ahead. But we're just going to give you the podcast breakdown so you don't have to read it. But if you want, go ahead. And all of the ways that I myself have applied this in my own life and how it's been so good for me in the areas of business and parenting and relationships, just like everything, even working out. Let's go back to us as children. Like, how did you deal with failure as a child? Think about it. How did you deal with failure as a child? Maybe you were praised as a child for being smart. But when you didn't get into the gifted program or when you didn't do well on that test after having a reputation for being good at that subject, what feelings did you feel? Most of us, for me, I felt shame, embarrassment, like I wanted to hide. I was really afraid that I wouldn't be called smart anymore. And that was my title, smart. So I didn't want to lose it.
Yeah, like while reading this book, like you said earlier, it was like I had so many Oprah aha moments. Tweetable. It's a tweetable. I'm going to say that every time. I had so many aha moments. And I was like, why has no one told me this? Because it's so simple,
Crazy.
Right? Just
Crazy.
like an awareness.
Right.
You know, so for me, like little Anthea, you said, like, how did you feel as a child? So when I was little, I was praised and live off of other people's praises to identify my self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I wasn't identified as smart. Let's not go there.
What?
I wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who was the smart one in your family?
Ansel.
Oh, he would be.
Yes. And and then I was told I was such a good singer. I was naturally talented, and God has given me a gift.
Wow.
Blah blah blah, etc. etc. Dot dot dot. That's how
You were a natural.
a natural. So I felt so much shame and a lot of resistance when things in regards to singing came along that I just didn't get, quote unquote, naturally. So, I mean, here comes in the negative thoughts, and I was no longer talented. If it didn't come easily to me, so I wasn't talented. I was no longer a good singer because I couldn't get it. So I felt ashamed, like you said, embarrassed, and absolutely not good enough. It just came down to not being good enough. And then I totally wanted to give up and say, girl, this is for the birds. This is for the birds. This just isn't for me. I just wasn't meant to do this. This, is a clear sign that I had a fixed mindset.
Mindset, as they've found, is born very early in life. Like our relationship with achievement forms as early as children. And it's crazy how these experiences affect how we show up as adults in the world today. So here is why presence, like your presence, is more important than praise. There was a study where Dweck and her colleagues offered 4-year-olds a choice. They could either redo an easy jigsaw puzzle or try a harder one. Which one would you have chosen as a child, Anthea?
Easy. Because I was fixed mindset. I didn't know. But
I don't want my flaws to be revealed.
Oh no! Exactly. I was like, I can get this. As a child, that's what I was like. Give me the easy. But I didn't know.
Like Super Mario Brothers, like I picked the easy level or whatever Atari. What is it? Super NES. I don't want to know that I can't.
Yeah,
that's not fun.
That's not fun. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that it was fun. It is fun now. Anyway, well, the point is that even kids showed characteristics of the two mindsets. Those with a fixed mentality stayed on the safe side, like us, choosing the easier puzzles that would support their label of smart and affirm their ability. They didn't want to fail because smart kids don't make mistakes. And if you were praised as the smart one or the whatever one, like you don't want to, I remember what that felt like. I didn't want to lose that label. That's all I had. And when you're a kid, you don't have a whole lot.
No, it's like, why would you go against it? You're like, but my aunts and my uncles and my teachers say I'm smart. So I don't understand this.
Kids' egos are so precious.
So precious. And you don't want to raise your hand because you're like, then then you don't want to raise your hand and then you're just going to suffer.
Don't get me started on raising my hand. I'm going to cry.
Because you don't raise your hand and then you feel like you're like, oh, so they won't identify me as smart and I won't be special anymore because I ask a question, right?
So true too about like raising our hand as adults. That's why it took me so long to even say, I'll do it. Because it ties into the classroom, the elementary classroom as a child that I don't want to be made a fool of. I don't want to be wrong. Just the fear of being wrong and the fear of failing programs us as adults to not take risks because it's going to reveal us, when in truth, it's going to help us.
Yes.
So
little do we know that has a term. It's a fixed mindset. Like, what?
Oh, there's a term.
There's a term.
Now, the kids who had a growth mindset, back to the experiment, kids who had a growth mindset thought it was weird to choose the easy puzzle over again. Like, why would anyone want to do the same easy puzzle over and over again?
Boring.
Yeah, if they aren't learning anything new. So the fixed mindset kids wanted to preserve their ego in order to feel and seem smart, and the growth mindset ones wanted a challenge in order to stretch themselves. And it's the same thing as an adult. Their definition of smart, their definition of success wasn't static. So it was all about becoming smarter, becoming stronger. So which one are you as a child and which one are you now? Oh, there's a great metaphor actually. About gold coin being thrown at you.
Yes, girl.
When you're in a situation where you're being criticized, berated, challenged, Most people's go-to is to deflect the negative because it feels bad. We don't want to accept blame. It hurts our ego. So naturally, we want to put the blame on the person who's criticizing or berating us. We have a choice, though. I equate those critiques to gold coins. They're throwing it really, really hard, and it hurts. Now, I have a choice whether to turn my back and deflect it or shield myself from it. But that gold coin gets lost forever. But if I stand there, face it, allow it to hit me on the head, on my back, on my face, whatever, and instead of shielding it, try and catch it. Take the pain. That way, I benefit. I collect the gold coin. But in order to do that, you have to have a growth mindset. You can't fight it off. You have to let it mold you into a better and richer person.
Oh, wow. I can actually picture that.
I know.
In regards to coins or feelings, that people were like, don't feel shame. Don't feel anger. Don't do that. Just be happy. And a lot of people don't allow themselves to feel that, but that's all part of you.
Yeah.
That makes you a whole person. And like you said, when you feel it, you're like, why are you feeling this? And you're able to accept it and like acknowledge it. And then you're able to heal it.
Yeah. You need to recognize that the wound is there.
Yes. Tell them about your board.
All right. So I've been like I've been super obsessed with these 3 words that just clicked to me like a week ago. The 3 words are dragons hoard gold. It's like my favorite 3 words right now. I did not realize how crazy specific dragons are to explain a growth mindset. We know, okay, let's think. We know dragons to be these scary, mysterious, dangerous creatures. They represent, okay, most importantly, they represent the unknown. They're always in dark caves and you never know what they look like and your imagination goes wild. It's so freaking daunting and mysterious. And here's the thing. They're always guarding something bigger. Okay, not guarding, sorry, hoarding. Hoarding is a better word. They hoard the prize. They hoard gold, or like there's always like a princess behind them or something of great value. So in order to get the gold, you need to slay that dragon. You need to deal with the scary, the daunting, the unknown. And people have inner dragons that they don't slay all the time. They just like live with it. It's crazy. Or even outer dragons. Challenges are full of riches, and a growth mindset is all about the realization that hard is good. On the other side of discomfort is a pot of gold that you do not want to miss out on.
Yes, girl. So when you have a fixed mindset, when we're referring to fixed mindset, let's just clarify this for you guys. So when you have a fixed mindset, you think you're either born with it or you
like
just...
Lady Gaga, Born This Way.
Born This Way. Refer to that album. Great album. Or you just don't have it and you won't have it ever. It's just like we refer to as like static. That's it.
There's no growth.
And then their identity is so... they're like stuck to that. You're like, but this is who I am. And you're like, ooh, now you guys listening, you're like, ooh, that's a fixed mindset. You're like, you know what I mean? Like you're just, now you're given this like token or this nugget and you're like, oh, now I know what this is.
Yeah.
So you identify these people, or even you hear that talk about, you hear that inner dialogue in yourself and you're like, that's being fixed. Because before you're just like, this is the way that I think. Oh, now you know what that thought is.
Right.
And like what it can lead to.
It can lead to a fixed life.
A fixed life. Yeah, a static life. Absolutely. Yeah.
You know how they say that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room?
Yes.
How you're the smart. If I was the smartest person in the room, we would all be dead.
Stop it. But that's the thing. Like before. Okay, so my mindset before was like, I would be in that room. I would seek out
that room. That's true.
I would seek out people that were less, quote unquote, lesser than me, or felt like I was better than.
Community theater.
Yes. Oh, nothing about that. Y'all get your points. But but in the end, as with the knowledge of what we're feeding you guys today, it's like, which would you rather just play it safe for the rest of your life and live a static, unfulfilled life? Like to not face up those challenges. But like the thing is like, it's just simple, fixed growth. So here are some signs that you may have a fixed mindset.
So how do you know, Anthea, that you have a fixed mindset?
Okay. So if you answer yes to this, it's okay. Now we know. We all know.
Step one is to know.
It's to know. It's to be aware. Okay.
Okay.
So we're not here to shame you. We're just here to empower you, to give
knowledge
you some
is power.
new nuggets.
Yep.
Yes. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So if you say yes to any of these, you might have a fixed mindset.
Cool.
In certain areas or in all of your life. So if you avoid challenges, so if you give up easily when you come against any obstacles or when it becomes too hard.
Okay.
If you need to put in any effort, then you're like, I just don't want to waste my time. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm good.
You know people like this too, you guys. It's not just you. It's sometimes it's easier to see it in other people before you see it in yourself. The people who hate effort, who just give up, who are like scared of it. Sometimes it's easier to, like I said, to see it in other people before you recognize it in yourself. But it's in you too, I'm sure. It's in all of us.
Okay. So if you feel threatened by the success of others, you might have a fixed mindset. So and if it comes easy to you to criticize and judge others before you even judge yourself, you might have a fixed mindset.
True. Yeah, you might.
It's kind of like, if you drink you drink your beer out of a red cup, you might be a redneck. You might be a fixed mindset. So if you avoid challenges, if you give up easily, and when you come up against any obstacles or things get hard, if you need to put in any effort, and you're like, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't take in any constructive criticism, you're like, oh, yep, I'm good. I'm so good. I don't know why they're all up on this. If you feel threatened by others' success.
Yep.
Fixed mindset.
Yeah.
Or if you are the first to criticize and judge and not be in the arena, you might have a fixed mindset.
And again, it's easy. Gosh, I know this girl. Everything that you're describing, I know her. I know her well. And it's so sad. You might be describing yourself, or you might be describing someone close to you that meets that checks this list. And it's really sad. I think it's sadder, actually, if it's not you. Because you listening to this right now, learning this right now, you have control over yourself. But guys, you cannot have control over other people. And I think that makes it worse when there's somebody that you care about that you know is resistant to challenge, and they're just decomposing, essentially, their skill level. And it sucks when you care about them, but you know that they're capable of so much more. If only they weren't afraid of challenges.
Oh, okay. So you can tell that you have a growth mindset if you embrace the challenges and you're like, bring it on. I with your family, you're like, we do hard things.
That's our motto.
That's your motto. I want to share with y'all. So if you keep going when you come across any obstacles instead of giving up, growth mindset.
Right.
You believe that with effort, your hard work, you can become better.
Growth mindset.
Yep. You can you're open to getting better. So when you have feedback and constructive criticism. You're open to that. You're like, ooh, what else can I learn to get better? How can I get better? That is like the monologue that you're, feeding yourself on a daily.
Yeah.
Okay. And you are inspired by others' success and growth. And you find lessons in there from their success and their growth that you can learn from. So you're like, ooh, what can I learn from her, him, them? Like reading this,
You're
doing
hungry
this.
to get better.
Yes.
You know it's possible to get better. You're not saying like, that person's successful, so I can't be. You see as possibility.
Yes.
You think that person's successful. That means I can be too.
Yes. And instead of like criticizing and judging people, you help and encourage others. So that's like high growth mindset. For instance, okay, so I'm an actress and I have to learn a lot of music and scripts. So I used to say, I can't learn all this, and that is the truth. I was like, and I'm just not that good at memorizing, for sure. And we have to talk to that girl all the time. I'm like, oh girl, what? So I literally was in tears getting ready for this lead role. I mean, I was absolutely nervous. I didn't say anything.
What lead role was it, Anthea?
I was in tears, like getting ready for this lead role. I was playing Diana in Next to Normal.
What?
And I was so.
You played Diana in Next to Normal?
I know. Hashtag diversity. Thank you.
Amazing.
So I was really absolutely nervous. So when I picked up my binder, I just went home and I was like, and the negative thought army came marching in, and you're just like, I was like, girl, you gonna embarrass yourself. And then there's another one. This is the most you've ever had to memorize. You always forget. Like she's talking. She's like really, really loud.
Yeah.
And then it was just taking over. So what happened?
What happened?
I avoided it. Yes, girl. I didn't even for the longest time. But I was, but I already signed the production contracts. So
Oh my gosh.
what are you going to do? And there was no way of getting out of it. So I went
Did you really want to back out of that?
I just
sometimes.
Yes. The binder, like the huge binder,
Crazy.
sat on this corner chair in our bedroom, just sat there. I was like, I'm good. I'm just gonna go to rehearsal. I didn't open her. I didn't even highlight anything. I just let her sit there.
Why?
Avoid fixed mindset. I was like, you are not good at this. Identity. I was super scared. Like I just, a lot of you've heard this.
You're not
monologue.
a lead role.
Yeah.
Your ensemble.
I was like, I just rather not face this.
Okay.
Acknowledge that this dragon is alive. That book, the children's book. So I was like, I just rather not know that how much I actually have to learn. So there's a lot of people just not acknowledging what they need to acknowledge.
Yeah.
I was like, you have to learn this. So I'm just gonna leave her sitting there.
Yeah.
I literally, until one day, Jay was like, I just took my binder and I was telling Jay, my fiance, I said, babe, I'm scared. He's like, okay, what? And I was like, I'm scared. This is the largest, most daunting role I ever had to do. And there's just so much information, nearly in tears, for sure. And this is again with acknowledging that you're not good enough. And even to your fiance, you're like, I'm a tough girl.
That makes it real.
Yes.
When you say it out loud to someone else.
To someone else.
Dang it, Jay.
But you were like, not, I know. And he was like, so he said to me with so much love and positive intent, are you going to rise to the occasion or are you going to run away? And I was like,
I love how he talks to you.
Yes.
That would work on me, rather.
Yes. Because I would be like, I'm in panic mode. But then what he breaks it down for me and has me think. And sometimes before when we started dating, I was like, oh, don't talk to me like that.
I love that he gives you the power by asking you, by
Always.
giving you the problem. Not
Always.
telling you what to do. It's are you going to? What are you going to do? As opposed to you have to rise to the occasion. No,
Right.
It's he gives you the problem.
Yep.
And that's a really, tangent. That's a great way to boss, by the way. You give your employees back the problem.
Yes.
Like Gary Vee, what you said. That's the answer.
What did you just say to me? Yeah.
That's the answer.
The answer.
Then
You're welcome.
these little kids are like, whoa. Anthony and I have this crazy observation that Gary Vaynerchuk, all he does when he answers questions is what you just said. And it's so freaking brilliant. He just basically says it right back to you, and it's the perfect answer.
Wow, you just changed my life.
Okay, but yeah, I love that Jade does that to you. Yeah, he Gary V's you all the time.
He does.
I love the pursuit of things. When I talk about my life, and if the goal is happiness, I want a little bit more than that. I want thriving. I want to feel vibrant. And that boils down to the pursuit, the idea that if I work on this, I can get better. And I kind of compare it to love, obviously. I kind of compare it to love. You know, when you're dating somebody, the most intoxicating, sexiest, most alive part of that story is the beginning, is the relationship. It's when you feel the sexiest. The chase, the pursuit is when you feel the most alive, the acquisition. I have that whole approach, or I try to have that whole approach with a lot of the things in my life that's difficult. I try to make it exciting and electric and effervescent. And it's hard to do that when we face challenges or criticism because it doesn't make us feel sexy. We hate it. It's a reminder that we're inadequate. So you have to train your brain to flip it around and see it differently in a much more attractive, exciting, sexier frame. This is exciting. This is a challenge. Learn to fall in love with the power of possibility that, almost, not yet, but the carrot is there. And that section, that phase of the growing, the developing, is where I feel the most alive. The acquisition that I'm progressing. So for me, having a growth mindset is now more about the recovery of your ego when you fail. Because when you have a fixed mindset, it's all about ego and self-preservation, but that doesn't get you anywhere. I've realized this in many of the hard things that I've accomplished. I've learned to recover from criticism quicker because it doesn't get me anywhere to wallow in it. So when someone gives you criticism and where there's a challenge, you can't wallow in it for too long, because if your goal is to truly get better, then you won't take it personally. When somebody says, hey, you should handle your finances in this way, that's a hard pill to swallow. But if my goal is to truly get better at how I handle my finances, and that is really my goal, then what am I doing wrong? Your reaction to this reveals your motive. It reveals your heart. If you truly want to be a better boss, wife, writer, singer, whatever, you got to be all in, even when people throw gold coins at you. And that's the difference, honestly, when you model successful people. Successful people always leave clues. Watch them. Their pace is a little faster. And their ego recovery needs to be quicker. Because their ego recovery needs to be quicker because they're juggling too many things. When criticism comes, I have to look at it head on. I can't shy away from it because I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss the gifts. I have to believe that this is happening for me and not to me. And that's the difference between a victim mentality and a victor mentality. That's the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. So my relationship with achievement has changed as an adult because everything I value in my life now came by the way of discomfort and pain. Think about everything I treasure, my family. Having kids is painful. Even the road to acquiring, yes, I've acquired my husband. The road to acquiring my husband was uncomfortable. Building a business is hard. And it took all that collection of experiences and that memory bank for me to finally understand that, for me to finally associate discomfort with a great reward. But you have to have a memory bank of those things before it becomes real to you. Because I can tell you this all day long, like, hey, if you do hard things, it's worth it. But it's not until you experience it where the message is solid, it's in your body, so that next time you see something difficult, something that's going to be painful, you immediately now associate it with the after feeling. That's why I don't shy away from it anymore.
Like when people, when they fail or come up to hard things, it's like, what do you tell yourself? Like, what do you tell yourself? Like, oh, well, that sucked. Fixed mindset. Like, or, we're like, ooh, I feel it. Gold nuggets, gold coins.
Yeah, you have to, yeah.
And then you're like, okay, so what am I getting from this? I feel like every experience, to me, this is the mindset now, like in the monologue in myself now is like, so every experience, good or bad, it can teach you something. So like, you said all these hard things you had to go through, so it made you the person that you are, right?
Yeah.
But you allowed yourself to feel it.
You have to allow yourself to feel the darkness.
Yeah.
The darkness. And we're going to talk about that. It's so, you have to allow yourself to go there. Or else, if everything was just easy and everything was just happy, is that truly happy without the contrast of the light and the dark?
No. Because you're like, I truly believe that this is all part of you. Like there is no wrong feeling. It's just a feeling. You accept it, you acknowledge it. What are you learning from it? And just you move on. So nothing is like, if you feel bad, okay, you feel bad, but you don't live there. Beyonce don't live there. She don't got time.
And I'd like to add to that, because Lemonade, what is the greatest Beyonce album ever created, and that was born through pain.
Yes.
I'm not all about this new one because she's too happy. I'm going to the concert, but she's a little too happy for my liking. It's not as good. Lemonade.
Gritty.
All day long.
You guys can do this. Like this awareness that Sheila and I are giving you, it's like think about it.
I am a huge fan, if you've been following my post, I am a huge fan of the idea that you need to parent yourself. Because your mom, I hope, is enjoying her retirement if you're our age and she's traveling Europe. But so she cannot be on your butt cheeks telling you to get up in the morning and go to work. At the same time, she's not going to be there to encourage you when you're down. You are the best person to do this for yourself, whether it's kicking yourself into gear or loving yourself when necessary. So self-talk is super, super important to master. So we're going to act it out for you.
Okay.
I'm going to be fixed.
Oh.
And Anthea is going to be growth.
I like being growth.
I'll let you do it this time.
Okay.
Okay, you can be Beyonce this time. I'll be Kelly and Michelle. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we love it.
I love Kelly and Michelle.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'll be fixed. So instead of saying, I'm not good at this.
I am not good at this yet.
Oh.
I'll keep working and I'll get there.
That's
okay?
better.
Yep.
That's better. Okay, I'll be fixed. I give up.
Maybe there's another way I can approach this.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay. That is better. This is hard.
Girl, it may be hard at first, but with time, I will develop and become awesome.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I messed up.
Oh, girl. Mistakes help me learn, and you get better.
Wow. I want to hang out with her.
Yes. I'm growth.
Okay, fixed. Okay. I've failed so much. I must not be good enough.
Girl, you will learn. Okay. Girl, I will learn from my failures so I can improve, not improv.
I was like, what?
Okay.
Her notes say improv. Anyway.
Don't.
Okay. Okay.
BTS.
Okay. Okay, fixed. I can't get better. I can't.
Girl, you can always improve. Always improve.
Fixed. I'll never be smart.
I will learn how.
Ooh. Everyone is better than me.
I can learn from them.
I'm jealous. Okay.
Don't be jelly.
Okay, fixed. My abilities determine everything.
My effort and attitude makes a huge difference.
So, for you moms out there, I've noticed this too. I've started to praise my kids for effort as opposed to achievement. If I can raise children who plant their feet on being the hardest workers in the room, I mean, they're set up. Instead of being labeled as the smart one, what if I label them as a parent as the hard freaking working one? You're the one. I'm gonna beat all the other kids up. But yeah, that's my goal, and we're really trying. To be honest, as an adult, that's where I pride myself. And that is the attitude that I've found the most success with. Because I know I'm not the smartest cookie on the block, but I will outwork you. And you will, and
Cack.
I'm a coming. Boom. Boom.
Cack.
Yeah, and I think that's so much cooler and it's so much more realistic. Seriously. So this is why our motto in the house is I can do hard things. I do hard things. I try hard things. We say that almost every day because I would love it. Love it. I would have really considered myself a success if my kids associate themselves with being the hardest working kids, men, because I have 2 boys, in their lives. Okay.
And that's so beautiful to see. I'm gonna jump on that is because you've allowed yourself to go there with yourself. You're like, what did I need as a child?
Because no matter how smart you are, no matter how pretty you are, no matter how talented you may be, there is always somebody who's going to make you feel inadequate. And it's not tangible. Somebody will always trump you. But you know what they can't trump is if you proclaim yourself to be the hardest working person in the room. That's measurable. Is it better to arrive successfully and be miserable or to journey happily? Since success is not guaranteed, it's not, but struggle is. What is something that you can do and still enjoy even if you're failing? So falling in love with the process, falling in love with the act of becoming, I think is the key to fulfillment. More than happiness, it's the key to fulfillment, a fulfilling, thriving existence.
Like, I know if you're just listening to this and you're like, I need help. Like, I feel trapped. Girl, I got you. I've been there. We've been there.
Yeah.
We totally understand. So it's like, it's so much. They just keep talking like, oh my God. But we're just so really passionate to help you guys because
these are the tools that have changed our lives.
Yes.
It really has. And something so simple as just being aware of whether your growth are fixed, you'll see. It's simple. It seems simple, but it's truly a game changer if you implement the tool, implement the mentality. Thank you so much for joining us today and for letting us into your space, into your sacred space, and for sharing your time with us, which I know is so, so precious. It's precious to me, and I'm sure it's precious to you. So it feels really good. It's an honor.
It's an honor. Thank you for sharing your time and sitting with us and growing with us.
So if you have any suggestions for future episodes, feel free to message us on Instagram. It's my favorite way, @RealSheilaBella. And
@OfficialAnthea.
Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for listening today. If you enjoyed this podcast or were impacted by this at all, please share it with a friend, spread the love, screenshot it, post it on your stories, your feed, your timeline, and don't forget to tag me. I'd really love to see that. My Instagram is @RealSheilaBella. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's episode. If you have any suggestions or questions for future episodes, I'd love to know what they are so I can make it happen for you guys and serve you better. Also, if you liked this discussion today, please take 30 seconds to leave me a 5-star review on iTunes. Your support would seriously rock my world, and I love to support my girls right back. Check out SheilaBella.com for show notes and more tips on how to live the pretty rich lifestyle. It's the best lifestyle, duh. Be blessed, you guys.